Greetings, YouTube. Congrats to everybody who has already completed Act 7, Chapter 3 initial clear. I would imagine there are going to be some people in the next 24 hours who fully explore it because that is how impressively skilled and committed so many of the community are. Now, I was reminded of how terrible some of these offers were recently, especially in Act 6. We're talking about like 10 to 12,000 units for Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment crystals, but this was before selectors were available at all, or were only available essentially in some really, really hard circumstances. But keep in mind, even the Abyss doesn't have any selectors in it. It has all crystals. And every month that goes by, the Abyss rewards actually get worse and worse, given that selectors are becoming more and more common, which kind of has an interesting conclusion of making me less motivated to do the Abyss. But that is neither here nor there. So this Act 7 Chapter 3 Exploration Pack is not 12,000 units. It's 3,500 units, which, yes, is over $100 worth of units. Probably closer to like $120 worth of units. So with that being said, what do you get for $120 worth of units? Well, for starters, you get the 25% Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Selector, which we know Kabam values at about $75 cash at this point. They gave for Thronebreaker players every once in a while $50 if you're lucky for 20%. So I guess 25% would probably be closer to $55 or $60. But then Tier 6 Basic, Tier 3 Alpha, neither of those are game changers in terms of the amount that they're giving you, especially compared to Cyber Weekend, because we have to discuss this offer in the context for so many people of, should I get this or should I save the 3,500 units for Cyber Weekend, which is just in about a month and a half. You get 20 level 6 health potions, which are amazing, and no, you cannot buy those normally in the store. 15 level 6 team health potions. And then this is just, I guess, the screen. By the way, this is coming from Maple Snuff. And yes, there's more to it, obviously. But the bottom line is that this is the featured temptation. The top 3 items besides the health potions that I would imagine revives, which you can get a lower version of or a worse version of, depends how you look at it, when you complete your initial run of Cavalier each month. So the Cavalier difficulty quest, which I actually kind of like in terms of overall value. The big question is, how much are you really going to use these health potions and even revives for what you need? Because 3,500 units, and I've always told Prof, you've got to talk about this, so I've got the calculator out. 3,500 units is almost 88 level 2 single revives. And this is an Act 7 Chapter 3 exploration pack with the, in theory, goal of helping you explore 7.3. So are you going to use more than 88 revives exploring 7.3? Maybe, maybe not. But the price tag that you're paying for the Tier 6 Basic to Tier 3 Alpha, the 25% Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Selectors, the potions, etc., are not necessarily going to replace the value of revives. So personally, I think this is one of the better, fairer offers that we have seen in a Act 7 or Act 6 exploration pack, but it is by no means an amazing deal. I think if this wasn't October, this would probably be a C to C plus deal, given what we've seen for this price. Maybe at best, if you have no potions and it's not going to just go into your overflow, maybe you could say a B value. But given what 3,500 units should get you in about a month and a half for Cyber Weekend, I'm going to put the grade down to a C minus to C. You might think that's too harsh, but I've always got to consider, particularly free-to-play players, your chance of acquiring that many units in the time that we have between now and the end of November. It still takes a while to grind 3,500 units. And so I say save for Cyber Weekend unless you really think that these items are going to be the difference between whether or not you can take a 6-star to rank 4 before then, or if you really, really, really need the health potions. But otherwise, I'd say just use the 3,500 units on either Cyber Weekend or on level 2 single revives. And yes, I have heard the feedback behind the scenes of how upset people are that the revives and the potions and the energy refills are now behind a unit paywall today. I totally empathize with that. They obviously haven't given us a small compensation package for a couple of weeks. And on top of that, this is the first Wednesday in 2.5 months that we haven't had What If Nexus crystals, which is also a bummer since it is Wednesday. But we're just trying to do the best we can to be objective. And I think in this case, it's a C- to C, given where we're at. If this was like July or especially August, July, of course, post-July 4 sales, I'd probably give it at least a C+ minimum. But at this point, I'm okay with the price. I think it probably should be 3,000 units instead of 3,500 units, which is a kind of a small gripe. But either way, it's something that you should probably save for Cyber Weekend, particularly if you don't have that many units and you don't have a lot of cash on you.